All right, guys, let's check out the Bell&Ross BR03-92. This is the Golden Heritage colorway. I chose this one to take a look at from Exquisite Timepieces. Link in the description. They are a authorized dealer of Bell&Ross, and they have a bunch of them in stock, and they're going to be very competitive with the pricing. This one happens to retail at $3,700. So I think for a Bell&Ross, that's a really, I mean, that's their retail price, but, hit them up, tell them I sent you, and see what you can figure out on the negotiation, if you will. Some brands you can, some brands you can't. I really don't know on Bell&Ross. That's between you and them. So awesome leather on this. Kind of looks like a baseball glove or something like that with the and there on the logo. So let's get into the case size on this, because being square, it's going to present like a larger watch than the dimensions would otherwise tell the story. So 42.1 millimeter wide case. The lug to lug is a 51.3. You can see it's crazy thin at only 10 millimeter. Flat sapphire crystal with AR coating. You have 24 millimeter lug width here. These spring bars aren't really spring bars. They're like bolted in, but it does come with the tool kit here in the full authorized dealer packaging, so you can change out the strap, because it actually comes with an extra strap as well. So, and this is a Velcro, or hook and loop, strap that you would be able to put on there. These are very traditional. I personally would rock this particular colorway on the leather. I think it looks amazing. And that is part of the Bell&Ross. That's the way it balances out. It just looks like this really big leather bracelet around your wrist. It's really cool. So 6.9 millimeter crown. It is a non-screw down crown. It's just you can wind it here. Probably one of the smoothest winding movements I've done. Like, you can't even tell you're really winding it. It's pretty weird. Like, you don't hear or feel the wind really, but it is doing it. That's how I got it running. So inside is the caliber. It's called a BR Cal 302. It's basically a modified SW 300 from Sellita. Good Swiss made movement, kind of on the higher end of things. It's very similar to, say, like an ETA 2892. But of course, then Bell&Ross does a few things to it, I'm sure, to make it work in their case. 100-meter water resist on this, so you can get it wet. I don't know why you would, but you could if you wanted to, I suppose. And we talked about the price, $3,700. So awesome watch. Check out the case back here. I hope to see a bunch of more Bell&Ross, because I'm very intrigued by the brand for sure. And I got to be honest with you guys, I don't know if that I'm going to bring in too many round Bell&Ross. They do have some more traditional shaped watches, but I'm mostly interested in the square instrument style looking watches, and maybe some of the more softened out versions of those as well. Let's pop this on wrist real quick so you can see what it looks like on my 7 1/4. I feel like on wrist, it kind of, this is going to sound like a weird comparison. It kind of gives me like Panerai vibes. And I don't mean that it looks like a Panerai, but if you've ever tried on a Panerai, they wear really good for the size that they are, but they have the wide straps on there, and it just feels powerful on wrist. And I think that's what this one does here. You definitely know you have a larger feeling watch on your wrist, but it just melts into your wrist and it feels natural. It's definitely going to be a conversation piece. I could definitely wear one of these watches. Like, I'm really warming up to Bell&Ross 100%. Will I own one? Maybe at some point. I would like to. Will it be this model? I'm not sure. There's so many great ones to choose. They have some very playful ones that are kind of limited editions. Look at the hardware on that thing too. Awesome hardware, excellent made strap. Handmade straps. It's and it's funny too, because it's 24 millimeter here and it's 24 millimeter there. It looks like it has a massive taper, but that's only because it flares out to match the lugs, which really balance it out on the wrist and on the way that it looks with the case. Let's zoom in so you can take a look at the finishing on this. Phenomenal finishing, besides the smudges, but you can see the polishing is very high polished, sharp transition to the brushing, and then that gilding on the handset and the indices, which are brushed to catch the light a little bit better, and those are applied. You can see the date there in between the 4 and 5, nice little reveal of a circle, and the date is put in a same plane as the Arabics on the dial. So not lazy there. It looks really good. Super legible. Not a whole lot of lume on this one. You're going to have it on the hour and minute hand. I will show that, but it's not really a loomed out watch. They have other models that will have a bunch of great lume on them, and I will bring one of those in to share with you guys. There's not spring bars on there. It's actually hardware. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but it does come with, in the kit, it does come with the tools to change that out because it comes with that extra strap. So it comes with this hook and loop strap, which is also, I'm assuming, very comfortable because it's infinitely adjustable, and it's a nice heavy-duty hook and loop. So you can get that adjusted to whatever you need it to be. But like I said, it comes with this really good hardware here because you have to get on both sides of it to get it taken apart. And then, of course, you have the pin tool here, and that is for changing out the buckle because that will be a spring bar. All right, guys, let me kill the lights and we'll see what little lume there is. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to show it next to an SKX because it's just one of those things. It's a 42 by 51 watch, which is not an uncommon size, but because it's square instead of that round shape that a traditional watch is, it just takes up more space on your wrist. It has more square millimeters covered, because traditional would just be there with the lugs. So you have all these extra bits on there, and I think it looks awesome on wrist. I think they're very cool, instrument style looking watch. So there you can see the lume. They do a really good job of the lume. It's just not a lot of lume on this one because that's not what this particular colorway is about. This one's more about the golden heritage. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.